the last map. I doubt it. Consulate's a little bit different. So we can anticipate some differences here. Parker, I have to ask you. Oh, wow. No. Okay. It was Zofia again. Parker, I have to ask you. Do you remember?
The
21st of September?
September.
Yep. I had to do it at least once. It's done now.
I do. Oh, and look we're talking about verbatim, Michael.
It's the same, Parker. But will the defensive bans be the same? That's the question. I mean,
Will
Valkyrie
and Valk on Consulate?
Valkyrie will be banned.
Yeah.
And will it'll be Valkyrie. For sure it's going to be Valkyrie. It's Consulate. You have to ban Valkyrie.
These bans did not work out so well for the Sonics, so we'll see here.
Oh!
Pulse!
Left turn into Pulse ban from Valkyrie. That means Valkyrie is alive and well on Consulate of all maps. This is one of her best maps, period. Yeah, you can expect her to be played at least a few times. The Pulse ban's quite interesting. Definitely a targeted ban there from eUnited. I'm going to go ahead and check out the stats for Pulse or Sonics because I'm going to get some more information on why that is.
I would appreciate it if you could crunch those numbers for me, Michael.
Doing it right now, Parker. So they do... Oh.
Good. No, please proceed.
They actually... Doesn't look like they play Pulse all that much. Yeah, they've brought him a few times here. They play him a decent chunk when he's available, on Consulate specifically. But he's not like their most successful op, so I don't know if that's a... I mean, it's going to make defending Archives more difficult. I will say that. As far as sites go, it's going to make holding Archives a lot more difficult, and that is the Sonics' #1 bomb site, is where they go most frequently. And it's actually their most successful bomb site as well as their most failed bomb site because they play it more than any other bomb site on this map. So that was probably why the eUnited banned Pulse. If you don't know, Pulse is an operator that enables defending Archives. That's how this all ties together.
It's true. I was trying to think of a joke about how everybody needs a pulse, as in...
yeah.
They'd perish, but...
Right. I mean, it makes sense.
It wasn't there.
It's a very clinical joke. Yes.
All right, so a lobby defense. And with the Zofia and Pulse banned out, eUnited will once again not be playing Echo. Neither will the Sonics. There was a gentleman's agreement that Echo would not be played, because he is in a spot where sometimes his drones are unkillable. So clearly the teams are not eager to bring him into the fray, and that because of that, they have a free ban, which is what was used on Valkyrie in the previous game and now is being employed on Pulse. And yes, you're right. When Teller's Archives does, when it does rear its head, which it will, we're going to see a different C4 operator, probably maybe Mira, Kaid, something along those lines.
Probably, yeah. So far, actually, honestly, the operators are pretty normal right now, but see how that all changes, of course. Early on here, nothing really happening. Some droning, some probing. They're trying to figure out what's going on by Piano. It looks like the Sonics want to pinch Piano. It's not an easy site to take. You'll have to do some pressure work upstairs. You have to make sure none of the defenders are in CEO, because they can use the drop and the floor to just deny a plant from above. Nade from below. Oh, this could be big, but he moves in the last second. And then Nade doesn't land on Kansan. In fact, he gets easily the game sense on this man. I mean, not really. He's just got really lucky on the timing. He'll be eliminated by Iconic inside of Mez, and that's a great pick there for the Sonics, but it came at a higher cost than they anticipated, and the eUnited keep themselves very much in this round.
Very much could have been another pick there, but Kansan was just rotating the wrong way on the window, moving one way while Iconic was moving on the other. And Kansan, you need to give him some props for how often he is involved in the opening duels. I feel like that Maestro with the Alda in hand is getting at least 3 kills on almost every defense, which is quite impressive. Yeti picks up kill number 2 for eUnited. Now Grixer will pick up number 3, leaving eUnited in a very powerful position. Rexon, one of his own. All it's going to take is Alfama to get one, and it's a team ace. Yeti botches that shot, so Gomfy will scamper away with 40 seconds left. A team ace would be kind of neat.
It would be. Who's missing the kill right now on eUnited?
Alfama is the only one missing the kill right now. So you gotta cross your fingers for the smoke to see if he's able to do this. Meanwhile, Gomfy's in a 1v4. The diffuser is a country mile away. Up top, the sledge is trying to hunt somebody down. This is a virtually unwinnable round for the Sonics, but at least they can take as much time as they want. Down goes Rexon. Immediately looking towards yellow stairs is Gomfy, but he's on a bulletproof camera and he's got 10 seconds left, as you can hear. There's no way he's going to be able to kill 3 people. Nobody's going to give it to him. Yet he pops out. So at least eUnited does decide to take the fight. Alfama hid, so no team ace, and eUnited takes the very first round on Consulate.
Yeah, it doesn't, you know, it's still nice. Yeti picks up the 2-piece there. eUnited, solid defense. I'd say if that initial nade from below, Gomfy, he had been able to land that, very different story in that round. Kansan wouldn't have gotten his first pick. In fact, he would have been the first pick for the nade below. And then I imagine the Sonics would have still had heavy presence on Repel. Probably would have continued their pinch onto Piano, maybe gone for a plant. Especially with the Maestro Evil Eyes disabled, that would have been a big thing if they had full manpower. But it just doesn't work out like that. eUnited, solid defense. Kansan, we talked about how he's always present in those early picks and in the positive respect. And he has been a continuing positive presence overall, not just in the initial picks, but as a player for eUnited since joining this team. And I think eUnited's got to be really happy with that, by the way. I mean, you're always taking a risk when you pick up a new player, especially one that I think is as untested as Kansan. Like Rexon's a known quantity, right? We all know Rexon. It's understandable why he would make his way onto this roster. Kansan a little bit less known, but he's so far given nothing but positive impressions since he joined eUnited about a month ago or so. So, you know, that's good for United. I'm sure they're very happy with that. I think sometimes when you get this kind of surge in talent on your roster, it can kind of instill in you the thought that we can be better than we've ever been before. And I think United are proving that in their recent matches.
I suspect that they're also having a lot of fun. This was a team that seemed like they were having fun even when they were in the, you know, their death throes on the previous stage. So I would hazard a guess that they are probably having a much better time now that they're actually doing better. That'd be my guess, at least. And if you are eUnited and you are looking to try to make a climb, you will need to beat teams that are often seen as your equal. Now, heading into this match, I don't know how many people credibly could have argued that Sonics, with their potential, were on the same footing as eUnited, but we are obviously seeing a very different game than would be played on paper. And, well, it's probably why we actually play them in the server rather than just speculating, Michael.
That's really good use of those Ash charges. Actually, both Evil Eyes destroyed and at no serious expense. That's very curious. Typically, those Evil Eyes will be leveraged for more utility burn, but not this time. It was 1 stun, 2 Ash charges. Now there's no direct denial besides the C4 and the gas canisters. That's very dangerous for eUnited and good, efficient utility work for the Sonics. If you didn't know, those Evil Eyes were placed on the floor of the garage and can easily deny a plant in the garage proper when the execution comes. Speaking of, here it comes, and the kills are going both ways. Sonics, though, with decent entry as they'll come out ahead and start their plant. Gas canisters and C4s are missing. Gomfy will get Grixer as well as he rotates, and there's the post plant. Iconic up close, and he'll get one. Gomfy by Yellow Soda, he'll get the other. And the Sonics pick up a very succinct round.
They were all on the same page, and they had completely locked out eUnited. Now, I don't know how much of that falls on the shoulders of those that were doing the discovery work, and of course the discovery comes in the hands of those with the drones, and then the callouts that come from that as well. And a team like the Sonics should have really no problem with succinct comms, and even though we don't get the same videos that we get from the Sonics that we do from Dark Zero to know how tip-top those comms are, all you need to do is just watch them play ranked or on stream, and you know that they're pretty good at being able to convey what they see, find that information, and then allow the rest of the team to work off of it. eUnited crumpling after that initial push. Both panels of the garage get opened up, and then they cleaved to the middle of the site and isolated 2 members of eUnited towards the back. And then the remaining members of Sonics took their gunfights after the diffuser went down and easily managed to get in and then get out without nobody really caring that he was getting that diffuser down. And obviously that was the undoing of eUnited. A lot of confidence on the Sonics' part. They hit their shots. They knew exactly how they wanted to entry, and things worked out quite well. Problem is, though, and we've talked about this at length, is that when your engagement involves just taking a 50-50 gunfight and there's very limited utility involved, or you're not flanking or distracting, or you're playing off of a drone, etc. If it's just, hey, let's see if he peeks me, we often refer to those as 50-50 for a reason, and it's because you don't always win it. You lose one or two of those, the entire round's pendulum swings the other way. So, who knows? I mean, you in a couple gunfights, maybe eUnited hold out, but ultimately the Sonic strat was quite sound.
So this is interesting, guys and gals. We've got a top floor defense from eUnited. This is currently so far out of meta that it's become like hot potato. Nobody wants to have it. Nobody wants to go here. This has been a site shunned by the comp community, and it's because of its low success rate for the defense. It's actually really hard to defend these days. Now, because of the Pulse ban, you can't really go Archives comfortably, which means I guess you're going back to CEO, which is awkward, but hey, there it is. Slebin up on yellow, and he's got Iconic coming in through the bathroom rappel, who picks up 2 big kills. That's massive for the Sonics. They get yellow control, and that will allow them to leverage CEO control, where Easley is on rappel, waiting for his opportunity to spring in. He'll wait for a few more picks, though. Gomfi trades out Yeti, who was pushing up yellow. That's bad that Slebin got eliminated, but it doesn't really matter with this man count being so strongly in the favor of Sonics. Grixer using his gas canisters well to deny the crossfire, but he's got to deny the plant as well. Just doesn't see the rappel in, an inch off, nay, a centimeter. Super also gets cans in. It's looking pretty bad for Grixer and eUnited as a whole. The coverage on the plant is strong, and there goes the final defender. The Sonics with a very, once again, concise round.
That's 2 rounds in a row where the Sonics have not been slowed down at all. They just barge in, they take control of the bomb site, and that's that. This time they beat their previous record, and obviously trying to race down the clock is their greatest challenge. As through those 2 rounds, eUnited was not a challenge at all. To be able to swing in the bathroom, to be able to take control of yellow, to be able to swing in with the confidence that you have to that CEO desk, as we saw, not to mention the confidence that easily displayed when he got the diffuser down on the previous bomb site down in Garage. I don't know what's changed with the Sonics, but boy, they are playing like a very different team than what we saw on Oregon, and that isn't supposed to be how it works. Oregon was the Sonics map pick. It shouldn't have been as comfortable a match as it was for eUnited, and yet still the Sonics faltered an awful lot. They seem to have regained their composure, and now Consulate is already a more competitive map than Oregon was at almost any point. It's still early, though. It's possible that the Sonics can run away with this, or eUnited ends up winning a huge portion of the next couple rounds, and then the competitiveness falls away. But that's where we're at right now. And I wonder how much of it is, like we talked about many, many times, it was a very defender-heavy map on Oregon. The Zofia ban makes a big difference on Oregon. On Consulate, this is a much more linear map. You can take gunfights a little bit differently. The Sonics are doubling up on their hard destruction, which is not really common, to be honest, on Consulate. So that in and of itself is a little bit strange to see.
Certainly so. I mean, this has been a really odd Consulate as a whole. I think it's, I don't know. I'm going to mostly say it has to do with the Pulse ban. That's just, I mean, we saw the ban phase in the last map be significant in how everything played out, and it's once again being quite important. It's the Pulse ban, it's the lack of a Valkyrie ban. Curiously, no Valkyrie being brought here by United at least this round didn't really help them last round. The information was there, but it didn't result in won gunfights. This round in particular, it's an admin clear for the Sonics. They're going to start working their way towards Projector, where Yeti lies in wait. It's gonna be hard to dislodge Yeti from this corner. That's why he plays here. You can effectively cut off the half of mark on the top floor from this one spot, preventing a push through long desk and top Visa stairs. Since Spiral is kind of a non-existent push lane, that's a lot of ground covered. C4 is caught midair there by Slebin. He shoots it before it can detonate, and as a result, Yeti will actually fall back. As we hit the half round mark, that's an appropriate time to retreat.
And this is one of the slower rounds that's been played so far. Mind you, we're only in round number 4, but the Sonics have set a very nice pace so far against eUnited, and it's forced eUnited back on their back foot or on their heel, depending on how you want to go with it. Was that a nitro cell that just did not go from
No.
Yeti? No target whatsoever being hit as the Sonics remain at full HP, 500 between them.
It was
You see Iconic leading the way on this team, by the way, not just in terms of utility, but also in terms of killing. And Slevin is there with a great shot to take down Yeti, dispatching the one defender that was playing upstairs in Piano. More damage being done to Gomfy, though, as there's some spam marks on the Grixer. He's finished off, and Slevin finds 2 kills. So the Sonics, that tempo that we talked about them setting, that pace, well, it took them about 30 to 40 seconds, but here it is.
I think that was, that's going to be a nice shot there for Alfalma, but he actually doesn't land it. Rexon's the one picking up the kills upstairs as he somehow is still alive in bathroom. Explosively, he gets himself out of there, and now he's looking for more kills as we're almost done with this round. It looked like the Sonics were going to be able to take this clear and turn it into a round win, but Rexon says no, not that easily. Another kill for Slevin as he vaults the rail. That's his 3rd, looking for the 4th through the wall, but he's not going to land the shots, and he'll finally be shut down by Rexon, who gets his own 3rd, who gets shut down in turn by Super, coming alive in Kitchen and winning the round for his team in the nick of time. The Sonics will clutch up big and keep their hopes alive.
Really impressive stuff from the Sonics. Now through 3 rounds, and you can see Super's getting in on it. He's very happy and animated as he tries to rally the team. Man, what do you think it is with Consulate? Because
I don't know.
I mean, eUnited against Space Station lost this map, but they came close 5-7. It was their pick, as it is their pick this time as well against the Sonics. But we are in Bizarro World, where eUnited wins Oregon, which was the Sonics map choice. And now the Sonics are primed to do the same on eUnited's map.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
It's been a weird one, Parker. And I certainly agree with you. I don't think that these are the results that we expect. You know as well as I do, though. We have these matches sometimes where teams exchange each other's map results. Where you'd think that Team A, since they picked Map X, would be better on Map X, but in fact it's Team B who's better on Map X, and then vice versa once we get to the next one. But I mean, here we are. It's the opposite. It's been interesting so far. The one thing that I want to know is that it's strange that it has to do so directly with the maps, right? Because I'll be real with you. I'm seeing 2 totally different squads than the map prior. And, you can attribute a lot to a map and team's preference on that map. But is it really so drastic that the Sonics are playing this much more confidently?
I mean, Michael, it seems like the answer is yes, man. Like, they're...
It's
like,
weird,
come on.
Parker. It's weird.
Like, come on, answer your own questions, Michael.
I asked the question because the answer seems obvious, but... it's such a weird answer, you know?
Well, Michael, you must be in the VoIP server for eUnited because they said, oh man, we didn't run a Valkyrie, and Kick said that we could run a Valkyrie, so Kansan is on the Valk and tosses out a Valk cam as well as a Nitro Cell, shrugs off a grenade, and now on the upside down rappel will be challenged by what appears to be Iconic. This was a fight that could very easily have been won by the Sonics, who have so far split that opening kill with eUnited. But Kansan doesn't need to take the engagement.
Ooh.
First blood goes to the Sonics. It ultimately ends up being Slevin, as that's a wonderful crossfire established. Slevin might be able to actually crawl away to safety as now he gets downed. He's the only member of Sonics that isn't upright. Easily is planting inside a piano right now. He's in the midst of the smoke, but he'll be able to stick this one out. Iconic dropped and easily gets away with murder once again. His objective play is fantastic. He takes down Alfama now too, and it's Rexon in a 1v4. Technically a 1v3 as Slevin is down for the count, and now easily will join him. But Diffuser might as well be miles away. Nobody from the Sonics needs to pick up Slevin. He can just be a drone. Damage done to Rexon, and he has no idea where Gomfy is. Surprise! He's in the middle of the lobby. 4-1 for the Sonics. What a walloping they are giving to eUnited, and they have won the first half.
It's like we swapped roles. Did the teams change their names? Map number 1, eUnited. Absolute domination on the Sonics map. Map number 2, you think it'd be over, but no. The decisiveness here from the Sonics. They're winning these rounds in the first 40 seconds. Insanity. Beautiful stuff there on the execution. They pinched the anchors so beautifully. 2 early picks, 1 for Sleben, playing a long angle on rappel through the window, able to take down a player deep by bathroom. And then you saw Kansan, he gets stressed out. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore. Walks into the main lobby where there's another player on the Sonics waiting with open arms, saying, yes, pick, come straight to me. Sonics gets 2 early for free, basically. Just playing on rappel. And then at that point, I mean, the execution comes in. It is a little bit flubbed. I'll be real with you guys. The execution was kind of awkward. Let's be honest. The Habana walked into Mez, got blinded by the Ying. The Ying gets the plant, but just barely. eUnited almost saves that. But it doesn't matter. Why does it not matter? Because of the unanswered picks earlier in the round, and because of the swiftness that the Sonics took control after those picks. They didn't linger. They didn't wait for eUnited to get refrags. They're like, nah, we're going now. Beautiful stuff from the Sonics so far on Consulate. What is that?
That's Grixer doing Grixer things. Somebody who has seemingly come alive on this team. And he's been overshadowed, I think, by both Kansan as well as Rexen. But Grixer was always one of the most consistent players in terms of how he played. Never really flashy, but obviously you'd have Alfama and Yeti doing a lot of killing on the old eUnited roster, and then they played a little bit safer and smarter, and now it's been Rexen and Kansan stealing the show for the first game, and well, kind of continuing on now as well. But Grixer is more than capable of topping the charts, and I think a lot of people in North America have been waiting to see Grixer fully loaded, and now we're finally seeing it.
So 2 C4s used on that garage panel. Neither of them land. Easily took a little bit of damage, but not really enough for it to matter. Kansan and Grixer still have some C4. Rexen will get iconic as he attempts to rush in solo with his Candelas. I get it, you know, the Candelas can help you out, but not enough in that situation. Super will get 2 big kills from lockers. Super's really been coming alive on this Nomad as of late, and he actually just brought this round back almost single-handedly, gave Sonics a chance, and Gomphy is going to make it even better, but he is snuffed swiftly for his flame can burn too large. It's not over yet for either squad. Good peek here, but Super gets one on Banana before Kansan gets that refrag. Now easily has control of the site, and he knows where his opponent is. A minute to plant. He'll use a stun to deter Kansan from the kitchen door, and it's going to be a post plant now for Kansan. He has to retake his own bomb site. Got a lot of time to do it, but he's just been called out on that drone. Post plant here easily just needs to play his life. Ooh, Kansan might have an idea of his opponent's location, and he does! Beautiful shot from Kansan! Easily a chance wasted, and eUnited keep themselves in contention. 4-2, still favored to the Sonics, but that shot from Kansan could be the major difference maker in the second half.
That was the right play by Easley to pop on up after the intel was given as well. You knew that you had to go for that fight. He shot the drone. He didn't necessarily know where Easley was, and he was obviously prone by the rotate hole in the back of kitchen by that overturned table, and he was relatively safe there, but the problem is that he's prone, and the moment he goes to get up, he's going to make a lot of noise. He's going to un-ADS, and he's probably going to lose that gunfight. So, honestly, that whole round was just a complete and utter mess, but a beautiful mess, and one that was fun to watch. That first should not have been the Sonics coming back, and then they do, because of Mr. Super Sonic himself. And then they trade down and they whittle it away, and it goes to show you the value of trading out through the mid-round and towards the end of the round when teams do trade back and forth. That's why it's so critical to get one of those first opening picks. I mean, there's a number of reasons why, but that's just an additional one. Easily pulls off the plant, as he has done 4 times by my count on attack so far. That is an impressive tally for somebody on objective. But now the Sonics have a tougher task, which is to go on to defense. Now, Consulate is a relatively balanced map and has been historically a map that tends to seesaw between attacker and defender based upon the operator bans and based upon the meta. Right now, you would think that it's leaning towards attackers. I think that's perfectly valid based on what we've seen. But the one question that will be answered after a round or two is, were the Sonics just hot and they seem to come to play on Consulate, or is this really an attacker-sided map?
That is the question, right? And it's the same question we asked in map number 1. I think we're going to continue on wondering here for a while longer, because the way that these teams have been playing is hard to pin down. Hard to lock up and be like, oh yeah, this is how it's going to be for the remainder of the match. Lots of twists and turns going on. Now, this round's going to be a basement defense for the Sonics. And what? 3 ADS? Okay. All right. 3 ADS on the drone hole. Interesting stuff. And they determined that, yes, indeed, if you're counting, all 3 are there. And I bet you eUnited's like, what? Why? Oh, no, they didn't count it. Why didn't they count it? Nade goes down. Viewjammer's still there. So another stun used. Way more utility used on this drone hole than was necessary. They finally get the Viewjammer. That is hilarious. The impact trick does not work for the Maestro, despite super attempting it. May as well go for that, right? That's such a strange setup from the Sonics, but it works out so well for the defense.
eUnited had to burn an awful lot just to make that work, so I think it was worthwhile. Unorthodox can play out quite effectively. Look at the utility. eUnited right now, they have only 1 Ash charge left, as another's just been used. Only 1 flashbang on Rexon. 0 flashbangs on Kansan. 0 grenades on Yeti. 0 flashes on Alfama. They are very utility starved right now. They've got the 3 breaches on Grixer, because I guess you're not going to bring a Claymore here because you got the Nomad. There's not really a lot of things that eUnited can do except for take fights. I mean, they've opened up the garage, which is good. But then if you compare it to the Sonics, they've still got 2 impact grenade, or they've still got 2 C4s available, including what could be 2 Maestro cams for all we know, because one of the grenades had to be used earlier on. They've also got easily killing Grixer, so yet again, an opening duel breaking in favor of the Sonics on their very first defense. Time is ticking away as eUnited is in the process of stalling out, but a very confident entry from Yeti as he swats away 1 member of the Sonics, but then gets punished, and Gomfy comes into play. Easily taken out now, but still an advantage for the Sonics in terms of man count. 20 seconds left, and they look to stretch their lead. Gomfy playing off of the back of White Van, just waiting very patiently, as eUnited are not anywhere near close enough to being able to pull this off. And they'll have to grab the diffuser as well. Missed opportunity from Rexon as Gomfy picks up kill number 3, if I remember, and then Sleben finishes it off. The Sonics are making up for lost time after that Oregon match, and they are looking mighty dominant as they take their very first defense here on Consulate.
Big round there for the Sonics. As you said, Parker, in the midst of it, the first defensive round for SQ, and it looked awful solid there. With that, it would suggest that we're going to get that map number 3, but it's with these teams, I feel like it's too early to call. Now, importantly, and I didn't actually see, I want to say, though, that one of those Evil Eyes persisted through the round. I saw one of them get destroyed by an Ash charge. I don't know if the other one did. I can't say definitively because we didn't see it play in that round, but no matter what, the hard destruction, or not hard destruction, sorry, the explosive soft destruction, or Explo, was pretty limited by the defense, thanks to that ADS placement. And you know, when you see 3 ADSs stacked on top of each other, you're like, well, that's stupid. But it worked out so well for the Sonics in that round. The attack burned way more than it needed to. 1 extra flash, 1 nade on those ADSs. Beautiful stuff. And it's because United's like, surely they only put 2 ADSs on the drone hole, but it was in fact 3, as the story goes. Now, it's going to be a top roam here for the Sonics to try and assist the middle floor defense. This is a delay tactic that is commonly used. They'll cut off by projector, and you'll have a roamer in CEO and bathroom who can play long angles to assist the player in projector. The player in projector will typically be an SAS operator. That's Gomfy. He'll be the one playing there. And from this position, he can use his SMG-11 to deny a plant in the main lobby, as well as use his shotgun to hard hold the top of Vista stairs, and his C4 to kill anyone who attempts to challenge him from the balcony. Air jab burnt early on, but it's actually a terrible idea as it turns out. eUnited pick up 2 free kills. And that's a gift from the Sonics to eUnited. eUnited, I'm sure, very happy.
For people that don't know why they did that, when both of you hop out, only one of you ends up getting knocked over. The other one is obviously right there, and, well, the Sonics decided to remove their brains from their skull on this round. Sometimes it works. A surprising amount of times. We used to call it the eUnited strat, actually. But eUnited now playing a much more composed attack, and they are letting SQ just come to them whenever they want. Easily and Super are probably not stoked to be in this set of circumstances, but here they are with over half of the round to go, and all that's been done to eUnited is Kansan losing 75% of his health. That's the story for them. Other than that, you don't really have a lot. Nitro Cell almost gets tossed out, but that's a miss from Easily. This is not a good round for the Sonics. Another Nitro Cell will go out, this one from Super, but they are just burning through this round as eUnited looks to burn through the clock. I mean, unless eUnited totally blows this round is over.
There it is. Flawless round, eUnited. Yeah, so it all started with that balcony run out. The timing was bad on the vault. The first burning player, I think, vaulted, and then the second player, who was supposed to kill the Nomad on Repel, vaulted right after. But either he got knocked down or he just didn't see his opponent, whatever the case be. Sonics lose 2 on the balcony. And in that position, when you're down 3-5 and there's so much time left for the attack, you need to make aggro plays in order to get the manpower back in your favor. So somewhere else, by CEO or Yellow, another defender tries to run out, dies. And then it's just constant, continued aggression from the Sonics because they have no other option, because they need refrags. And, well, it results in a pretty one-sided affair. You could call that a fluke round, to be fair, but it's still a win. eUnited's not complaining.
What it did really was push the Sonics goalposts a little bit farther back, because they could very easily have been on match point. And I mean, a 6-2 scoreline is pretty decent domination, to be fair. Obviously, we've seen better scorelines for other teams, but this is what I said way back when. I thought we were going to see 3 maps, and I thought that the maps weren't going to be that close. I just want to be right. Unlike Veli. That's all I want. The best part is that Veli's sitting here in this channel, and he gets to listen to me, and he unmuted his mic and then remuted it without saying a word. I saw that. I saw your...
He wanted to say something, but he's a consummate professional.
Yeah, that's we'll call him that. I'm trying to goad him into a response, and he's not going to give it to me. So
no, he's not. He can't justify the distraction during the cast. And I don't think you guys would be able to. You guys and gals would be able to.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to hear him at all, but we can hear him.
Yeah.
Would you like to read it?
No, you go ahead.
He typed in our caster chat, "I'm dying,"
in all
like
caps.
as in like of laughter.
Yeah.
Not literally.
We didn't. No, he's fine. He's gonna be okay. In fact, he's better than fine. He's fantastic.
I just want to banter at the same level that Zach does from DZ. That's all.
Yeah, dude. He's got some killer ones. Yeah, for sure.
So, I got the last laugh. He followed me on Twitter when I complained on Twitch. That's all I wanted.
So that's a lesson learned for all you kids out there. If you complain about something enough, you will get your way always and forever.
Yeah.
Can you smell the sarcasm on my voice?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I can actually. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, eUnited won the previous round and kept it a little bit closer, and it is a lobby defense yet again. Things are a little bit different this time. First, the Sonics are not going to hop out of a window and then decide to take needless fights. But what this is doing is causing eUnited to be a lot more careful in how they want to engage, and you can see that they are circling the wagons around Projector, where Gomfi is. Gomfi is on basically 1 HP as Rexon has been taken out. And eUnited are just moments away from being able to strike. But there's a shotgun barrel aimed chest level at the doorway that will stop anybody in their tracks unless they decide to pre-fire. And he's going to get droned out. There goes a Nitro Cell. Super with one on the Grixer. Yeti taking damage, but they swing. And it's just a mess on the kill feed as everybody gets in on the fun. Half of the server is dead with a minute to go. An eUnited trail in man count.
Yeah, that's not great for EU. The Sonics are looking pretty solid, and you could see after that complete mess, as you mentioned, the defense just fell back. And rightfully so. I mean, you've got the time advantage now, 30 seconds. You got the man advantage as well. Don't give any 1v1s to the remaining attackers. Don't let them bring this back. And that's what Sonics are prioritizing. Great use of the Wub Wub there for Sleben as Alfalma goes down by Yellow Soda. It's all on Kansan, one of the newest players here on eUnited, and he'll go down to Iconic. He's trying, but there's too many angles to play. And the Sonics will take yet another round, bringing us ever closer to that match point. This is looking like the start of that map number 3, as we've been saying throughout this map.
Just as the doctor ordered, the Sonics find themselves, at this point, being able to run it out unless they need overtime, in which case, once again, for those of you that haven't been following since the start, every map today, eUnited will be starting on defense. The Sonics will be starting on attack. Every map, by the way. Even the ones they don't play in. When it comes to overtime, the Sonics will be on defense twice, with eUnited on defense once in overtime. And that is for every single map, so it's very easy to remember, I promise. It's not like, well, in the 4th week, eUnited starts on defense on overtime, and then the next match they're on attack, Michael. No, none of that. None of that crazy stuff.
No. Thankfully.
But the Sonics are showing that they are very well coordinated, and this is, right now, what we expected, or at least what I expected, because I don't want to speak for others. This is what I expected to see out of the Sonics at the start of this stage. I thought they were going to be very sharp on attack. They have lots of fragging power on attack. They've got what we've referred to as spears in the past. In this case, the Sonics have Iconic, Gomfy, and Sleben, all 3 of who are capable of dominating a game, and they're usually very consistent.
10 seconds to go.
As you can see from the score sheet, Sleben and Gomfy, as well as Iconic, actually, they're all having a pretty good game. Super and Easily are lagging in terms of kills, which is the way it should be if everything is going according to plan for the Sonics. So, hats off to them. That's where they want to be right now. But the Sonics looked like they had a lot of signs of promise. They took the fight to Dark Zero. They came 1 round away from making it to the mini major in North America. Everybody was overhyping them, maybe. I was not. I think that they are a damn good team, and I think that they are capable of achieving top 4 in North America. They need to play more, obviously, like they have been on Consulate. They had a bit of a slow start on Oregon. They've made up for time here on Consulate. Villa remains the tiebreaker if needed, which seems like a certainty at this point.
It certainly does, Parker. But this is the best attack round we've seen on the bottom floor from eUnited thus far. Look at that. 1 minute, not even 1 minute used, and they've already got control of the top 2 floors. All the roamers pushed down, and now all the anchors are being opened up on from above. That's going to be very difficult for the defense to handle moving forward. Things could get dangerous here for the defense, for Sonics. Because now the explosives start to rain up and down, go back and forth to try and get picks for each team. 1 mirror window dealt with. That's the one in Kitchen, I believe. That can be easily accessed from above. And yes, indeed, it's now open. That makes Kitchen even harder to defend and play in. And look at that. No anchors near the garage. As soon as eUnited opens up that garage panel, which they already have, they have direct access and an opportunity to go for a plant. Easily is going to be the main player tasked with denying the plant with his 3 gas canisters. He has to be very vigilant and very smart on the timing of those gas canisters, or his team will suffer the consequences.
I believe the Evil Eyes have been taken out, and I don't know if the Banshees, which you called Wub Wubs, by the way, I don't know how they are faring either, whether they're still strewn about the bomb site. Kansan gets the opening pick onto Iconic, so you are down 1, and it's the Maestro. So not only are those Evil Eye cams locked in place, but you've lost the Alda, and you've lost Iconic, who has been showing that he is capable of taking his rightful place on the score sheet. Yet he trades off Alfama as he'd lost his teammate, and the Sonics, if they continue to trade down, will eventually be bled out on this map. Oh, but this is aggressiveness that does not pay off as Sleben decides to try a fight against the Ash, and Rexon is going to be able to pull off the diffuser. The gas canister's not working, but Gomfy lights him up in 2 big kills as he heads for the hills. Easily is down, so Gomfy will need to find the remaining 2 members of eUnited. But diffuser down means that it will be an even greater challenge. Inside a piano, Yeti is there, and he is immaculate in that spot as he absolutely plays the Sonics. eUnited still very much alive. They are looking to close this gap, but it will be match point for the Sonics for the next 2 rounds.
Nah, man. The Sonics played themselves that round. I'll be blunt about it. They didn't delay or roam in any meaningful capacity whatsoever on a basement defense on Consulate. That is asking for failure. Truly, a crippling blow to the Sonics was the fact that they just let the attack walk in the first minute of the round, plant themselves in the middle floor, and start opening up above the anchors. That forces you as the defenders to do some wackadoodle things, and that's exactly what we saw happen there from the Sonics. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but overall, the Sonics need to defend the middle floor. They need to delay at the very least. I'm not saying that the Sonics have to have a completely indestructible defense inside a bathroom and never leave it, but at least delay half the round, as is standard on this basement defense. And I think, you know, it's forgivable because there's time left for the Sonics to realize their mistake and correct the course here. But you got to be worried on a 6-4 scoreline that you're going to swerve into OT and come closer to a 2-0. So Sonics need to definitely shore things up in this round. And if they don't win this one, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to start changing up their site selection.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Do or die for eUnited for the next 2 rounds. And yeah, I mean, what are the defenses now for the Sonics? It's been garage, lobby, lobby, garage, garage. So they are, like you said, they're going to need to change things up here as they would be on the very final round of regulation. This is the penultimate round of regulation.
Mm-hmm.
I just take every opportunity to use the word penultimate as much as I can.
It's a fun word.
It's a great word. Like, I can't say that I wouldn't want to use it whenever I can. I want to use it all the time.
Absolutely. Use it as much as you please, Parker. I like
Thank you. I can't stop. So
I like the way you say it too.
Thank you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
You ever find yourself tripping up on certain words like cacophony? I said cacophony once. Anyway,
Really?
We'll stop. Yeah, I was very embarrassed. Rexing gets the first kill, but he technically trades with Iconic as they go 1 for 1. They literally traded, as in they shot each other, and at the same time, they both hit each other at the same time. So it's a wash as to who gets that opening pick. As we've talked about at length, Ash is now a utility operator in this crazy funhouse that is Rainbow Six Siege. As things are upside down, the Sonics winning eUnited's map at the moment, eUnited winning the Sonics map, we are literally in a funhouse, a house of fun, as you'd want to call it.
And it is that.
It is fun indeed, but Iconic is not as pivotal now that his gadgetry is down. The Ash is going to be crucial because Rexon was the one who was able to take out those evil eye cams. And as we just got to see, they are still very much in play. So Super will be watching them intently. Both of them are up and they're in the default spots. One watching the garage panel. Well, technically both watching the garage panels, but the other one is looking over towards the secondary panel that just got opened up by Alfama.
Now, with those panels opened up, this is a big opportunity for eUnited. They've even got the soft destruction working, but the main difference here is there's less time, and there are still roamers that could influence this round significantly. And you've got Easley on yellow stairs. He can sweep down at any moment, take out Kansan, and definitely change the course of this round. But he's going to have to time it perfectly. His play will make the major difference. Alfama going for the plant here. The Evil Eyes are obviously disabled as they're not zapping away. It's going to be a post plant if they don't do something quick, and yes, indeed, it will be. A 4v4 post plant advantage strongly in the favor of eUnited. I'm sure if you've watched this before, you know how difficult it is to retake this site. Even exchange upstairs, as you can see. Easley's flank works, but only to a certain extent, as Grixer maintains the top floor control. Gomfi and Super now twisting in the wind. No real opportunity. There's no way they'll be able to disable that diffuser. eUnited, with still 20 seconds left, are sure of their victory in this round and are going to bring it to the 6-5, no matter what the Sonics do. Such a great plant there just inside a garage. Grixer gets his triple kill. Maybe he can get the 4K for posterity. But no, the kill doesn't go to anyone. Super maintains his KD inside of Kitchen. Really, you can't blame him, though. There's honestly nothing he could do in that situation. And yeah, good on eUnited getting the plant when they had the opportunity.
Well, just like that, this match has tightened up in a hurry. And it all started, if you recall, with the Soniqs deciding to jump out of windows in round number 8. That's where the slide began. Prior to that, it was 5-2 in favor of the Soniqs. And then they went for broke. What ended up happening? 3 of them died within the first 20 seconds of the first bullet being shot, and it was a flawless round for eUnited. Lobby was won the next round by the Soniqs, but then after that, eUnited picked up the next 2 with Diffuser being planted and technically getting the opening duel on both of them if you count the trade that happened, which you really shouldn't count, by the way, but if you did, technically they got it. So back to lobby they'll go since it is reopened. Success rate so far on this bomb site is 50%. So if you're the Soniqs, you are hoping that you don't go to OT. The one thing that is good is, as was mentioned earlier in this match and earlier in this map as well, is that the Soniqs will be on defense for every OT. So they will just go right back to the same setups that they're on right now. They could change things up. I do find it very curious that the Soniqs have not attempted Teller's Archives, nor have they attempted Console Office. And I will put that at the feet of the Pulse ban. We have not seen Teller's Archives today. And I suspect that's because they do not feel comfortable playing without a very pivotal operator on a bomb site that requires most of your defenders to be turtled in the basement.
Yeah, overall, the basement has been a bad story for the Soniqs. And there's a lot of layers. Look, they tried to roam. They tried not roaming. They tried various operators. No matter what, it just wasn't working out. So now they're just, yeah, they're going to go to middle floor. I get it. I would do the same thing in this situation. I think that, you know, you're one round away now from OT. As you said, Parker, you need to avoid that OT possibility. It's completely demoralizing to come so close to absolute victory and then end up having to work your way through those OT rounds. So, Soniqs, this is desperation at this point. This is, oh heck, oh heck, oh heck. Really want to make sure that this goes through for us. Top 4 roam is going to be another delay factor. Time has been super significant for both of these squads. And this top 4 roam, its success or failure could spell out the result of the rest of the round.
Time being wasted and nobody really from eUnited getting close enough to strike. As we see a whole host of outlines by the yellow stairs, but that's Grixer, Yeti, and Alfama all squared up, and they'll go on to drones, and with it, Discovery will follow. You need to take command of that second floor as quickly as you can, and that was where eUnited were able to thrive previously, but then they bunched up around Projector, and well, Gomfy, if you remember, was able to waste so much time playing in that particular spot. He could possibly do it again, but there goes Sleben to Yeti, so eUnited will start off this round with an advantage.
That's a really great pick there for eUnited, and uh-oh. That really screams of OT. But look at the time. Soniqs have done a decent job of delay. Sleben has done a decent job of delay, so it's not over yet. This could still go to map number 3 right off the cuff. Oh, what is that? A rappel in mezzanine, and it's caught by Easily. Beautiful shot there. What a strange move by Rexon. And now the opportunity and the advantage that was afforded to eUnited by the initial pick has been lost. Very dangerous situation. And that could have been another pick for Easily. He just barely misses out. Mute Jammer keeping that mirror window up. Grixer does get super, though. I believe he was playing upstairs. And now, with your final roamer gone, it's going to be those anchors who really need to shine. Iconic playing by Spiral. Gomfy in circle. And Easily in bathroom as we hit the last 15 seconds. There's a big kill there for Yeti. Easily the anchor in bathroom goes down, as well as Iconic by Spiral. Just Gomfy. He's been fragging out, but I don't know if he's fragging out that much. He has to find 4, and now in a post plant, he'll have to disable the diffuser. It's in piano. There's already attackers all the way in spawn, not wanting to give any chance to Gomfy, who has been having a good map. There goes Kansan with the final kill. eUnited, an amazing rally back, and OT has been grabbed.
Very dominating comeback from eUnited, and it sets us up for 2 more rounds at minimum. All this momentum that had built up by the Soniqs, carrying round after round, and the confidence that comes with it, gone entirely. Both teams breaking 4-2 on their respective attacks. So it doesn't actually work out all that well that the Soniqs will be defending twice, because the attackers have a very large advantage in terms of rounds won. A fraction, that's technically 2/3 of the rounds have been for the attackers. The Soniqs, who dropped lobby twice and won it once, will go right back there. This will be the 4th time this team plays this bomb site, which is very interesting, and it's really been played out very differently every single time. Of course, the very first lobby defense, I don't know if you can really count it, because that was the one where they decided to jump out of windows and they sprung a trap by being too aggressive, and well, it didn't work out. It was a flawless round for eUnited. After that, I think they tightened things up. The problem was that I don't know how much they changed between their successful lobby defense in round 9 versus their unsuccessful defense in round 12. Because the bathroom was pressured pretty quickly. They blew up the bottom of the mirror window, and then they were able to take out the play upstairs so that the Soniqs wouldn't have that ability to come back to the bomb site and maybe stop Alfama in his tracks as he got the diffuser down. And Alfama has been quite impressive so far in terms of what he's brought objective-wise. Consulate, he has been very quiet. If he can step it up and continue to step it up as he has the last 2 rounds or so, then that might be enough for eUnited to be able to pull off this comeback.
We'll see if it's enough. I mean, it certainly has seemed like it is. The coordination has really been stellar on eUnited. I think that's my main standout. The way that they're playing together, and there's almost no jumping the gun. I mean, you'll often see teams see an opportunity, be like, oh, wow, we're starting to bring this back, and then mess it up because they get a little overzealous, maybe peek a little too aggressively. Someone steps out of bounds. You know, the line is broken. The teamwork falls apart. Not so for eUnited. They've been consistent on this comeback. They have been well coordinated on this comeback, and I am hopeful that they'll be able to keep it, going, because to me that is proving of a more experienced eUnited than we've seen in the past. And honestly, I want both of these teams to keep up with their growth. I've been impressed with eUnited's in particular in this match. Ooh,
eUnited has been impressive across the board, yeah. And I mean, Rexon plays very fast and loose, takes out Iconic, but Slevin is there to shut him down. Once again, this Rexon Iconic duel pops up, both two relatively younger players, and Iconic obviously having less experience than Rexon, but both still not being veterans by any stretch of the imagination. All right, eUnited, I see you. 2 kills from Yeti and Kansan. And the Soniqs will end up with their support players to fend off the rest of eUnited. Now, they will be able to take out what little is left of Kansan, but easily doesn't look the right way. So now Super on Spiral Staircase will try his best, but a huge round from Yeti gives eUnited the lead. They have not led since round 1, and now they find themselves on match point and series point, heading to defense with still 2 rounds left to pull this off.
Absolutely massive round there for eUnited, and I think the final nail in the coffin, or as you like to say, Parker, the penultimate nail in the coffin. That is a huge moral victory. Now, what's going on there is you're looking at, or rather, technically, I guess, a huge victory in morale. Technically, a moral victory is different. Anyway, the point being, when you're already suffering from being in the driver's seat, leading the match, and then losing so many rounds that you get to OT, and then the first round OT, you lose that one as well, that is just, that is a low blow. eUnited are not in a good place right now. Or rather, sorry, eUnited are in a great place. Soniqs are not in a great place right now. Sometimes you forget about OT's swaps. It's been a rough one for the Soniqs. They looked so good for so long, and I thought that would merely continue, but not so thus far. This is interesting. I think they put the shield there. Oh, that's so smart. Oh, Parker. They put the shield like that because the explodey thing on the back of the shield, because it's a Goyo shield, it actually isn't shootable from above. So you can't shoot that Electroclaw from above. The only way to destroy that Electroclaw is with explosive, because the only way to shoot that shield would be to shoot it through the breach. But you can't make the breach because the Electroclaw is under the explodey thing, which is covering the shots from above. Must use a nade, or must use, in this case, an Ash Charge, since Sophia's banned. So that's a really clever Goyo shield. I love that. I've never seen that before. Love to see new things like that rear their head.
Now, please vote in our poll. What was your favorite part of that? Was it the impassioned gameplay analysis from Kickstar, or is constantly referring to it as explodey thing? Please vote below, with 1 being the analysis and 2 being explodey thing. Thank you very much.
It's really clever, though. I mean, that's...
Yes, no, I know. Yeah, I'm not trying
massively
to...
smart there from eUnited.
I'm not, Michael, I'm not trying to take that away from you, so... Innovation, though, from eUnited coming in, and will it work out at all? Well, they've managed to totally blunt any momentum that SQ had and wrestle this lead away from them in what has been an absolute slugfest between these teams. 14 rounds now played on Consulate. We needed 11 on Oregon. These have not been particularly close, and this actually proves me wrong, which doesn't prove Veli right, by the way, but it does prove me wrong, which is that it's not going to be a blowout on every map, setting up Villa to be the showdown, because obviously Consulate, no matter what happens, is going to be real close. And that's about as free of a kill as you're going to get. As Sleben just patrolling the bottom of Yellow Stairs, he finds Rexen, and Rexen is not able to do too much. Yellow Stairs control is very much in Soniqs' favor, and now Spiral Stairs as well will go for Gonfi, as this is a garage defense. So you're going to need to translate that first floor pressure on downward, yet he needs to watch from above, as Super had set himself up for success and then finishes off what had been started by the air jab. So right now, the Soniqs in the driver's seat, and what was an attacker-sided map is now looking to be quite strong, even further in overtime. All right, the defense suffering just as much as they were. There goes Alfama and the Soniqs. Only need 2 more to push us to round 15.
This is amazing. Look at that. A Soniqs attack, super successful. And that is despite not being able to open up the garage yet. They'll finally get the Goyo shield. But it took a long time to do. And that in turn gets the Electro Claws. Now, Kansan will get one, but he's up against literally the garage wall that has just been opened up. Double exothermic. He's now the last defender. Granted, he only needs to stay alive for 20 seconds. He sees an opportunity. That's diffuser down. He has a lot of ammo, but he's not going to be able to find the right targets. Iconic will shut him down. Soniqs bring it to the very final round, 7-7. But the one advantage that eUnited have is they now transition onto the seemingly advantaged attack.
One thing that we talked about when there was the start of that round is the whole, oh, well, we might only have 3 minutes left of this matchup, or we might have 35. And right now, oh my. I mean, eUnited's going to go on to attack, but I've got a gut feeling. I got a gut feeling that the Soniqs are going to win this, and we are going to see Villa. The very first time that we will see something different, though, here is going to be Archives Tellers, speaking of. This was a bomb site that has not been played yet. Every other bomb site on this map has been. Console Office came out once. My speculation was that the pulse ban made it untenable for teams to successfully defend Teller's Archives. This bomb site hinges so much on literal live pinging of where the attackers are coming in. Pulse is by far and away the best operator to do that. Valkyrie can do it in a pinch as well, yet they're not running her, as you can see. In fact, much to your surprise, Valkyrie has actually not seen too much play so far here on Consulate, despite being unbanned.
This is really curious, especially on Archives Tellers with no Pulse, because Pulse is banned. Now, the reason we haven't been seeing this site is because of that Pulse ban. That was a deliberate move there by eUnited, because this is Soniqs' most played defensive site on Consulate. This is where the Soniqs love to go. And so eUnited banned the Pulse to make defending this site very difficult. Now, you would think that the Valkyrie, as she is unbanned, would be brought in to substitute, maybe throw all the cams and Tellers. Why not, right? But no. There's just going to be limited information on Archives. Now, the way that the Soniqs are going to try and compensate for the limited information is by playing this very differently. C4 goes out and does nothing. It looks like it might have been shot midair. So that's a used C4 by Iconic, and he'll fall back to Soda Machine. Overall, a decent start for eUnited. And, you know, while we haven't seen any decisive action just yet, it's still, I don't know, I want to say that this just straight favors eUnited, given the operator lineup, site selection, and already the early scuffles.
I mean, we'll see what Easily does as he plays just above the one bomb site that is going to be largely neglected as the plant tends to go down on that first floor, which is inside of Tellers, Archives being the bomb site that's on the basement floor. This is only a minute that's been eclipsed so far on this round, though it feels like so much more. And we've had a couple of these rounds so far today where it definitely feels like teams have been playing a lot longer than that. Iconic lost a bit of HP at the very onset of this round when he tossed out a nitro cell that you suspected was shot out of the air. So not too much has been wagered, not too much has been lost, but what a play by Rexon as Slevin does the running man after falling victim to a great shot from Rexon.
That's really good for eUnited. And it looks like they might be able to turn it into more. They've got to be quick, though. The time is going to start dwindling here for the attack. Iconic will eat some damage in a scuffle with somebody else. I believe it was probably an angle being played from above. Yeah, probably Kansan. Unsure. But Iconic is rolling by bathroom, easily there to support him. Meaning there's only 2 people defending the site right now. Both of them with C4s in their pocket. Gomphy and Super. Their roles are critical in the outcome of this round. If the C4s land where they ought to, Soniqs might be able to hold out. But without a pulse, and without any actual information, that's going to be difficult to pull off. A trade there that ultimately favors the attack, given that one of the roamers has been snuffed. It's all on Easily now to continue the pressure on the flank. But meanwhile, the plant's going down while the standoff happens. Alfalma is sticking it inside of Tellers, and there's no info for the defense. A successful post plant now for eUnited, and this is probably the beginning of the end. Another trade, but once again, this still favors eUnited, given that it is a trade. Gomphy and Super now need to retake onto their own bomb site with only 30 seconds to find 3 frags and disable the diffuser. Both of these players on defense have been playing very well, and so is Soniqs as a whole. But it's not going to matter. Kansan picks up his 3rd kill here. Gomphy has almost no hope. He'll push into Teller's Hall, see the tracers, follow them to an unidentified target, and run out of life. Kansan, the final kill, a 4K for the man, and eUnited will 2-0 Soniqs in this series.
Not exactly the result that the Soniqs want, but for eUnited, this is a massive victory. You have managed to silence a team that a lot of